So let's start the Dscc 1 paper for SEM 1 students. The history of English poetry from Elizabethan period to modern period. You will have a short note of 5 marks. From the short notes, you can study The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. You should also prepare a short note on John Milton, William Blake, John Donne, Alexander Pope, William Wordsworth, Alfred Lord Tennyson, P.B. Shelley, Robert Browning, T.S. Eliot, and Wilfred Owen. You can also go through Paradise Lost and Rape of the Lock. So in this case, you just need to read around 5 to 7 points. Just remember 5 to 7 points, because you will just need to write for 5 marks. So you don't need to elaborate it much. Just one page in the most important ones are T.S. Eliot, William Blake, and John Milton. I think if you study these three, I think one will be common. T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot, as well as the T.S. Eliot as a poet, both are important. That will be enough from the short notes. In long questions of 15 marks, I think modern poetry is most likely to come. Discuss the influence of modern English literature with a focus on two major modern poets. I have discussed the characteristics of modern poetry: simplicity of language, themes of alienation, fragmentation, experimentation with form, ambiguity, focus on the unpleasant, and social and political critique. From the poets, you should prepare W.B. Yeats and T.S. Eliot. I think this is the most important answer. If someone is preparing only one answer, I will suggest to go through it, because I think most probably they will give modern poetry, because in the last year they have given romantic poetry. So it's a sure suggestion from my point of view. Another important question is the characteristics of metaphysical poetry. Last year they have given metaphysical poetry in the short notes, so definitely they will try and give it the longer version of it. So prepare the salient features of metaphysical poetry for 15 marks. It is also a very important question and you should not miss it. Next, for more assured way, you can go through the pre-Raphaelite poetry. I don't think that they can give it, but still, if someone is just reading everything, someone needs the notes of pre-Raphaelite poetry, so I have prepared it. Because the last time they have given a short note from pre-Raphaelite poetry. You never know Calcutta University and their ways. So I have given the contributions of pre-Raphaelite poetry in English literature. More important than the pre-Raphaelite poetry is the mock heroic poetry. I think it has more chances to come, and it's a standard question. Write a short note, or write the influence of mock heroic poetry, or write a note on mock heroic poetry. They can give it like this. I think you can skip pre-Raphaelite poetry and rather read mock heroic poetry if you need to prepare more. And another important one is the heroic poetry. Write a note on the heroic poetry. Heroic poetry is basically Paradise Lost, or Virgil's Aeneid, or Homer's Iliad. All these are in the category of heroic poetry. You can also go through it, but if you need appropriate suggestions, or you are preparing, you have not prepared at all, so I think in this case you should go with modern poetry and metaphysical poetry. I think I'm quite sure that they will give one out of these two, because these are standard questions, and also according to the university paper setters and the previous year papers, I think modern poetry and metaphysical poetry are the more important one from the longer questions. And in the short notes, prepare Paradise Lost, T.S. Eliot. That will be enough. W.B. Yeats. If you are preparing modern poetry, then I think the short notes are also getting covered, because W.B. Yeats and T.S. Eliot also falls in the long note of modern poetry. Similarly, if you are going through heroic poetry, you can prepare Paradise Lost, and if you are going through mock heroic poetry, you can prepare Rape of the Lock as well. So that's it. You can check the PDF from the comment section in our group. Thank you.